So I'll go into some policies now. You're pledging, or the party's pledging to address corruption in Parliament with the introduction of an independent commission against corruption, which is stated to replace the existing Integrity Commission and the ACLEI. Can you explain what this will actually mean and how your approach is superior in trying to tackle corruption at the federal Parliament level?
Yeah, sure. Well, I think what is there at the moment and what legislation has been put forward at the moment, it's been compiled by the very people it's meant to, hold to account.
Yeah.
So how do we trust that it has the authority and the power it needs to have to address the sort of corruption we've been seeing time and time again over the last decade or so? Probably, further back than that as well. So, it's an obvious conflict of interest, and why it isn't called out as such is absolutely astonishing. The separation of powers is an extremely important aspect of a functioning democracy.
Mm-hmm.
So, where a federal ICAC with teeth would be different to what is currently there is that it would be at arm's distance from the executive. It would be a power unto itself with a very clear charter and a mandate that it is to address corruption all across our federation. Yeah.
That's good. I think most Australians would agree. It would be the idea that we would have those people whose self-interests are at risk of crafting a policy to police themselves it is ludicrous, as you said. And so one thing that I found consistently across those that I speak to is this real appetite and hunger for the ICAC. The fact that it hasn't come in, it really is unacceptable. If we want to, and certainly if the politicians expect to be held with respect, to be able to, to start rebuilding a lot of that trust that's been damaged so severely over the years, that to me seems like the most obvious first approach is a really strong commitment to accountability in that regard. So the fact that it doesn't even exist and we're having to fight for it is absurd, but that just shows how much vested interests have become.
Totally. Yeah. They when they talk about political donation reform and stuff like that, and how they say, there's nothing wrong with the system as it is. When when you hold that up against the fact that they don't want to bring in this rigid accountability for themselves,
yeah,
it's astonishing. It's astonishing.